Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Julia. I'm a contemporary singing specialist based in Australia, and today you will have to forgive my pronunciation attempts. I only had Google Translate as a pronunciation guide for both the names and the title of this song, so if I have mispronounced anything, I am so sorry. Please feel free to correct me, aid me in my pronunciation journey in the comments below. Regardless, we will be reacting today to Yohani and Satheeshan, their official cover of Manike Mage Hithe. And I'm really excited to hear what this kind of music is going to be like because I have never listened to nor reacted to any music or artists from Sri Lanka before. So I'm keen to dive on in and see what this sounds like. Let's get to it.
Manike Mage Hithe, uduwe nura hengum yavi, evi levi. Neriye numbe nage, mage netne hame hayavi, sihi vevi. Ma, italanga madavatena, urupe meka patalena, duanari manahari sukumali numbatama. Italanga madavatena, urupe meka patalena, duanari manahari sukumali numbatama. Manike Mage Hithe.
Oh, it is smooth. Wow. I really want to go back and just re-listen to that because I don't know what I loved more, the smoothness of her tone, the way in which she interacted with her eyes, those subtle smiles, or that awesome groove, those percussive tones that we had that wound up kicking in. Oh, I want to go back and re-listen because that was beautiful.
ඉඩමක් ගන්න හොඳ ගෙයක් හදාගන්න කතා කරන්න අප්ලෑන්් එකට
Manike Mage Hithe, uduwe nura hengum yavi, evi levi. Neriye numbe nage, mage netne hame hayavi, sihi vevi. Ma, italanga madavatena, urupe meka patalena, duanari manahari sukumali numbatama. Italanga
Oh.
madavatena, urupe meka patalena, duanari manahari sukumali numbatama.
Oh, okay. The tonal changes in those percussive instruments, it sounds like a drum of some kind, but I'm not going to try and say what it is because I'm not as familiar with individual percussive instruments, so I'll just guide it by tone. You have the lower tone in the percussion, really like laying that initial beat down, and then you have this complete uplifting feeling with the higher toned percussive sound. I want us to go back and dissect that, and then I'll dive a little bit more into what her voice is doing because it sounds like it should be easy. Nah, man, she's making it seem easy.
Manike Mage Hithe, uduwe nura hengum yavi, evi levi.
So she has this wonderful alternation between something that's really bright, but it's not so constricted that her vowel is tightening up, and then she will relent to something a little bit more breathy compared to the brighter tones in her sound from the start of the phrase. I also love the little integrations of vocal fry that she puts in there. It sounds sexy. It does, having just that tiny bit of fry that comes into her sound. Combine that with the more relaxed nature of the accompanying instruments, and then you have that beat drop in. Oh, so easy to listen to. Like, I feel like you could just mass consume this sound.
Neriye numbe nage, mage netne hame hayavi, sihi vevi. Ma, italanga madavatena, urupe meka patalena,
So good.
manahari sukumali numbatama. Italanga madavatena, urupe meka patalena.
I feel like I'm constantly being lifted because of what those percussive instruments are doing. They have a few other little things in there as well, but to me, one of the driving forces was first that build into this most subtle, amazing drop when it actually came in, but then just having that like high lifting feeling. Oh, wow. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like in the like drum sounds, we have that lift. Oh, I flipping love this.
Manike Mage Hithe
ඉතින් එප මට නවංගු ගත හිත නුඹ මගෙම හැංගු අලෙ නුඹටම වලංගු මැනික වෙන්න පතාව සුනංගු ගමෙ කටකාරම කෙල්ල හිත වෙලා නුඹෙරුවට බිල්ල නෙටින් නෙත ගතම අල්ල මගේ හිතත් නැහැ මටම මෙල්ල කෙල්ල කෙල්ල වෙලා මගේ හිත පත්තු වෙනවද තව ටික කිට්ටු මට පිස්සු තද වෙන විදියට ගැස්සු ඔය දුන්න ඉංගියට මත්තු බඹරෙකි මම තටු ඉස්සු ඔය වට කරගෙන රැස්සු රොත්තෙන් හිත අර ගත්තු බඹරා
Oh, okay. So his flow is very different to what we would normally get in Western music. Our flow and our cadence tends to trend downwards because a lifting tone might more indicate a question or something like that. But his rising tones are integrating perfectly with those percussive elements I mentioned earlier. There's almost a roundness, like a drum quality to how he's actually saying quite a few of the words. I don't know how to pronounce those words specifically, but they complement so well with the roundness that we're getting in some of those percussive sounds. And if you listen to his rhythmic ideas, they integrate really well over that groove that's actually been set up. So it's almost like a complementary flow to the groove, and it still maintains that smooth quality throughout, even though there is those lifts. Now, because he is rapping, he's in his first register, speech modal register, so full fold contact happening there. But something that's also different because he's not singing in English, and something that we generally don't hear as much in our Western singers is that rolled R, the that sounds so cool in amongst all of these other little percussive things as well. I want us to go back and just re-listen to him as well, just to really feel out how his flow and his cadence, so flow and cadence meaning the rhythm that he's choosing as well as where he's pitching his sound. You can set up a motif, you can set up little grooves yourself just through your own cadence as a rapper. So we're going to listen to his flow and cadence that he has and how it integrates into that rhythmic, that consistent rhythmic idea that we've had ever since it was brought in with Yohani in the first verse. Brilliant drop, still love it. That was the bit that just made my little shivers run over my arms and go, heck yes, we're staying on the ride for this because it's awesome. I'm going to go back and re-listen to him.
Mage Hithe
ඉතින් එප මට නවංගු ගත හිත නුඹ මගෙම හැංගු අලෙ නුඹටම වලංගු මැනික වෙන්න පතාව සුනංගු ගමෙ කටකාරම කෙල්ල හිත වෙලා නුඹෙරුවට බිල්ල නෙටින් නෙත ගතම අල්ල මගේ හිතත් නැහැ මටම මෙල්ල කෙල්ල කෙල්ල වෙලා මගේ හිත පත්තු වෙනවද තව ටික කිට්ටු මට පිස්සු තද වෙන විදියට ගැස්සු ඔය දුන්න ඉංගියට මත්තු බඹරෙකි මම තටු ඉස්සු ඔය වට කරගෙන රැස්සු රොත්තෙන් හිත අර ගත්තු බඹරා
Other thing I didn't mention, he sits so far forward in his sound, and I do think that's a language thing. This has been so fun.
ගත්තු බඹරා
හිත ළඟම දැවටෙනා උරු පෙමක පැටලෙනා නුවනාරී මනහාරී සුකුමාලි නුඹ තමා හිත ළඟම දැවටෙනා උරු පෙමක පැටලෙනා නුවනාරී මනහාරී සුකුමාලි නුඹ තමා මැනිකේ මගේ හිතේ මුදුවේ නුරා හැඟුම් යාවී ඇවිලේවී Neriye numbe nake mage nenne hame hayavi sihivevi ma italangama davatena uru pemaka patalena nuwanari manahari sukumali numbatama italangama davatena uru pemaka patalena nuwanari manahari sukumali numbatama manike mage hithe uru pemaka patalena
Oh.
uru pemaka patalena
Oof. Well, that was so cool, so smooth. I was really feeling out those other percussive elements in the beat. towards the end there because we kind of had that moment just to live in it. Loved the little stringed instrument that came in at times. I thought that was a nice little layer. I actually really liked the way that they used some of those vocal layers. So every now and again, if a line needed to be more emphasized, instead of necessarily getting a louder as a vocalist, they would chuck a little layer on underneath that particular section. I thought that was really cool. Because that's like a sneaky way around of adding to the texture without necessarily increasing the dynamic. And it does feel like that particular part of whatever you're singing becomes fuller, therefore more emphasized. So I thought that was really cool in the production element. But yeah, that beat, oh, it is smooth, it is connected. I just want to very quickly look up the English translation because I know it was going by on the screen, but I didn't really want to disconnect myself from what I was hearing musically and vocally by reading into that too much. So I'm going to very quickly just pull up the translation. All right. Mm. These lyrics are so cute. Wow. It's like a slow burn flirtatiousness to it. Mm. Oh, yes. Okay. So, reading that English translation, I hope it's accurate. I'm not sure. But reading that English translation, it just fits to a T what that music was making me feel, where it's almost like slow burn, flirty, just attraction. Oh, that was so, so cool. And I love it when music can transcend like the language barrier because the way that they approach the vocal delivery, the way that the music is crafted, it makes you feel the thing without you necessarily needing to understand the words. So this was absolutely delightful. I could listen to her voice just constantly. It is so smooth. It's so gentle as well. I feel like that matched the music as well. I don't know if she ever like goes off like heavy belting, extreme range, all of that kind of stuff, but it would be interesting to see how she approaches different songs because she just nailed the feeling of this song to a T. That was stunning. Like from her voice choices to her facial expressions, her eyes, the way she would smile. I'm like, maybe it's universal, but those are the floaty eyes. Yeah. Anyway. As far as vocal technique is concerned, she stayed in such a light setup that dominantly she was using a mix. So, a mix is where you're not going heavy with the vocal folds. It allows you to be a lot more flexible, particularly the higher up that you go. And because she had so much twang in the sound, it meant it was balanced without her needing to overwork. So I liked that aspect. And again, that variation that she had between something that introduced a little bit of fry on some of her onsets. I will get some examples because I don't remember. I don't remember the words. I'm so sorry. And I'd probably mess them up and that would make you guys get like secondhand embarrassment anyway. But I will find some examples of where she used a little bit of fry in her onset. That's that like we can have like a little bit of that quality in there. It does make it sound a little bit more sexy, but I feel like this song was all about like the hint of the attraction as opposed to just sometimes songs, there's no flirtatiousness about it. They've just gone straight to it was also delightful for me to be able to hear some uses of different percussion tones in an arrangement that wasn't super full. So you really get to sit in the tone of those percussion choices. That I found that very enjoyable. In particular, that lifting feeling with the higher percussive tone in the general beat that was going through this. So we had that like boom, boom, da, that rising tone. I just got lots of different feelings from this kind of music and a different experience hearing some rap that favored a rising tone. That was really interesting. I would like to listen to some more. Is there other Yohani songs that you would like me to do a reaction to, break down what she's doing vocally? Because that's kind of what I do here. I analyze voices and break down kind of what they're doing to achieve the sound that they get in their singing. And along the way, you guys get to learn about different kinds of vocal techniques, what technique achieves a particular tone. So in this case, we learned that Yohani's using a mix in order to get that brighter tonal quality. She's varying it with different little bits of fry in her onsets and some breathiness at times. So we have this like ebb and flow, this build and retreat, again, contributing to that like flirty feeling that I get from this song. Anyways, I just loved it. So if you have more suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. And I may I may check them out, like whether in a reaction or whether in my own time, because I love it when I get to experience something slightly different that is interesting. It's really exciting. So let me know in the comments below if you do have suggestions. Anyways, that is it from me today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to give it a like, click the subscribe button and the bell notification beside it for more just like this one. As usual, I hope you are staying safe. I hope you are staying healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.